Alright, here we are coming into Van Horn through the water, and that's because today's theme for this Horseman 9 is about water. I'll get to that in a minute once we get underway, but first let's just have a look at this horse. This is the Tiger Striped Bay Mustang, and it's a nice horse. If you like the Mustangs, this is basically a souped up Mustang. It's got better stamina, better health, and better speed than the normal Mustangs. Plus, it's very interesting looking. Very pretty horse. You can get it on the Angelo Bronte glitch mission in Chapter 4. So yeah, it's possible for Arthur to get this horse. And also, we're going to take a look at Arthur because he's celebrating just having finished the Exotics mission in Chapter 4. And two of the things you get for finishing the Exotics mission is this crazy hat here. And you also get this snub nose double action revolver. It's very, it's got some very ornate engravings on it of animals and flowers and plants to signify the things you had to gather in that mission. Like there's an alligator on the barrel there, you can see. And it's a small pistol. There it is in comparison to the Otis Miller revolver. And you can see how much smaller it is. But it's cool looking, and I think it's probably the most ornamental pistol you can get. Right. So let's get underway here. Arthur's looking forward to getting to Blackwater to show all those people his fancy hat and his fancy pistol. So it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. Good weather. I was hoping for a little bit of rain, but it's not going to matter. Here we get our time going right there up in the upper left corner of the video. Now, what I said about water earlier, the theme to this Horseman 9 is how much water does it take to disqualify you from this run? And I've seen people speculate, like on Reddit or wherever, that rain, you know, like if it's raining, it will disqualify you, or if there's mud in the road, it will disqualify you. And let's test that out. My theory, my idea is that if it isn't water on the map, it doesn't count. You know, if the map shows it as being dry land, then it's dry land. So rain doesn't count and mud doesn't count. Now, if you take a look at the mini-map here, you can see water coming up. Very clear. So we're going to run right next to it. But if you look at the terrain we are actually running on, all right, that was a mud puddle. And we're going to go right over here towards some stuff that really looks like water. Here in a second, you'll see it. Clearly on the right, that's water. That's a river. So we're going to avoid that. Okay, here's a good patch coming up right there. Look at that. That looks like water, doesn't it? I mean, if you didn't know any better, you'd say that was water.
Okay.
I mean, the horse is splashing. He's splashing in that. There's a good patch right over here, too. I mean, look at that. That looks like water. Now, pay attention to the map. See, now we're on dry land, and that's a few spotted Appaloosa. So that campsite right there would spawn that horse, and also the splash white American paint. Anyway, look at this. You can hear the horse splashing in this water. That sounds like water, it looks like water, but on the map, it is not water. And I think that's all that matters, right? Okay, so that's enough of that. That's enough splashing around in the mud to prove the point. We're just going to head down through Lagras. I think we're going to go down across the southern portion of the map, across Bolger Glade. We're going to go through Catfish Jackson. We're going to go through Braithewaite Manor. Also Clemen's Cove. Coming up here, look at this terrain. I mean, that clearly looks really wet there, but it's not. on the map, it wasn't water. Where we were touching wasn't water. Anyway, I did this run about 6 times. I think this is the 6th time I've done it. And I tried to run through one patch of forest and kept having trouble, well, running into trees basically. And I have a few bloopers of that at the end of the video you can watch. So I wound up having to change my route. And this is Caliga Hall, obviously. And it's just a little bit of a shortcut from the road. Saves a little bit of time. Because I was going so slow in the swamp and I'm taking a weird route, I'm a little bit worried about the time. I did successfully complete this run already, and I did it in 16 minutes 59 seconds basically, so I used up every single second of time. So I wanted to do another run, and that's what I'm doing now, a tidier run. So here we are headed toward Bolger Glade, the southern portion of Bolger Glade, trying to head towards that old abandoned church while missing these military emplacements because they'll throw you off your horse. Right. Let's run through here because why not? Now I know from previous runs that I might need the shotgun because this is where the panther lives. This is nearing Catfish Jackson. I think if he were going to spawn, I'd already have heard him by now. And you can see how thick the woods are here, and so you can sort of appreciate why I was running into trees, I think. My original route, I never left the forest until I got to like Clemen's Cove, and it was pretty intense. It was cool, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't worth it trying to get a successful run out of that. You know, I was having to do 5 runs just to get one successful run out of it. So this is a little bit boring, but yeah. Here we are coming into Braithewaite Manor. And I don't want to say too much while we're riding through here because this is chapter 4. And obviously events in chapter 3, quite a lot happens in the game, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played that far yet.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Let's have a look over that way. Now, one thing we can sort of talk about too while we're doing this is obviously I'm taking a lot of time here. I'm slowing down, looking at things, running through the mud in circles, and we should have plenty of time. You know, this challenge is very difficult to go over time on. When people do the challenge and aren't successful, I think it's because they think they're under time pressure and it makes them make mistakes. But you shouldn't feel under any pressure. As long as you take any kind of route that is more or less direct towards Blackwater, you're going to be fine. Talking about this horse again, like I said, you get this horse on the Angelo Bronte glitch mission, and what I find interesting about that entire glitch mission as we approach Clemen's Cove here, what I find interesting about that glitch mission is you can get many items. Like most of the time when you do a glitch in this game, like when you do the Braithewaite Turkman glitch, you only get one thing out of that. You get like one horse, or you get one gun, or you know, like with the Missouri Foxtrotter, you get the Missouri Foxtrotter, and that's it. But with the Angelo Bronte glitch mission, you can get this horse, you can get that Otis Miller pistol, you saw at the first of the video, you can get some outfits, that you never would have got otherwise. You can hunt some animals, get pelts. You can do some legendary fishing. There's like a long list of stuff you can do. So that's an interesting mission, and you should try it out. And if you only do it for this horse alone, I mean, for me, that was why I did it. But having the other things is cool too. So I would recommend trying that mission. Maybe best to watch a video on it before doing it. I did. Blue Sam Games, I watched his videos on it. I found them to be very informative and helpful, and I used them as a guide. Would you call this a beach where we are right now, or would you call it a shore? Because to me it looks like a beach, but I suppose it's a shore, right? Because it's a lake. Can a lake have a beach? I'm not sure. So right here we need to think about running uphill at some point. We need to get on that bridge to get across the river.
Good girl.
Yeah, here we are.
There's a girl.
Now this horse with 8 stamina, you know, it can run all day. It's not even an issue. With 8 stamina and 8 health, this horse has the same stats as the White Arabian. So that's, you know, good quality horse. The 7 speed is slower, obviously, than the White Arabian, which has 9 speed, but still, 7 is one of those speeds. It's not slow and it's not fast. It's just sort of a decent speed. And this is a good horse. The only problem if you get it with Arthur is if the horse gets killed, you can't get another one. So you always need to make sure you manage your saves properly when you're riding this horse as Arthur.
Yeah. You all right?
If you're coming this way and you get a wagon, just wait for the wagon to go by. Don't try to squeeze through. Now I'm going to take this shortcut right through here. Now, if you remember when you rescued Sean early in Chapter 2, we're going to the camp where we rescued him. If you go at this rock formation here and take a left, it sort of channels you towards those stumps right there. Just keep the stump right to your right, and you should just miss that stump there. It's on your left.
That's it.
And if you go off-road here, make sure you go far enough left to miss these boulders, big stones that are coming up.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Now, we're just sort of southeast of Strawberry right now, and we're heading towards Lake Owanjila.
You all right?
I don't know if I'm going to put any little map bits in later or not, so I'm just this is a pretty routine run. Right through here, you have to look for those logging wagons, and the best place to go here is just to the left to avoid those. There's just enough room to squeeze past one.
That's it.
And I generally stay on the shoulder of the road like this all the way around. That way you miss, the NPCs will be on the road so you miss them. Then shoot down through here between the tree and the boulder. Just across the bridge. And this is where you have to start looking out for NPCs. The game will almost always spawn an NPC on this trail. And what you have to do is make sure that Arthur doesn't block your view. So keep moving the point of view around like I'm doing right now so that you can see what's coming up. Like right here, you got two NPCs together. Now, I almost always take a health tonic as soon as I see that tall tree sign, because you're going to have lawmen coming up. I just ride down the trail here, and I take this little shortcut right here. It's important to do that, I think, because it speeds you up a little bit, and this is where the lawmen spawn, right about now. Yeah, there they are, to the left and behind you. If you were slower going through there, though, they would spawn in front of you because you wouldn't be as far along. So I think it's important to take that shortcut. Now here you can stay on the trail all the way. It doesn't really matter. I'm sort of worried about my time, so I'm going to take this little shortcut here that I almost always take anyway. And if you'll look at the mini map, you'll notice how close we are to the river. Really, really close. So I always jump over this boulder. You have to be careful with the landing though, because you can hit that rock and fall off your horse. Now up through here, you'll have to worry about the cougar. If you see the cougar, the best thing to do is start spamming your L3 button. Run as fast as you can, which you're probably doing anyway, and try to run the opposite way as the cougar. Wait, there's a dot. Is that the cougar or is that lawman? I can't tell. I wear glasses, but I never wear them when I'm playing the game. But the game has programmed your horse to buck you off if that cougar runs at you from behind. So as soon as you see the cougar on the map, you need to just run the other way and start reassuring your horse. Oh. Oh! Those bastards they shot my hat off. I was going to wear that hat into Blackwater. Well, those dummies. Alright, well, here we are coming up. We're going to see if it registers. We were in the watery mud, and there's Horseman 9. So, you know, I'm going to go back and get my hat. Or maybe not. Now, in retrospect, maybe it wasn't the smartest thing to do to turn around like that and go back. I could have just went into my menu and selected that outfit and would have put the hat back on my head, but that just made me angry that they shot my hat off. But we've established that the watery mud like that in the swamp, or any, as long as it's dry land on the map, you should be good to run over it. Let's put it like that. That's probably the best way to put that. If it's dry land on the map, you're good. Now we'll have a look at some of these bloopers and you'll see why it was a problem to run through the forest. You know, sometimes you're like, does the horse not see that? I totally thought I had that gully nailed, you know, but... that was just a deer. Yeah, that one hurt. And this is just after tall trees. And you can see the lawmen spawned in a different sort of pattern. You see, it's very difficult to make it through them when they spawn like that. Anyway, that was pretty much the video. If you watched this point, I'd just like to say, hey, thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you next time. I hope this was useful. Later. That's cool, huh?